Hi, I'm Dr. David Delgado Shorter. I'm a professor in the Department of World Arts and Cultures Dance with affiliated faculty status in Anthropology, American Indian Studies, and Gender Studies. I came to UCLA in 2008. I had just published my first book, We Will Dance Our Truth, which was based on about 18 years of fieldwork with the UMA people of Northwest Mexico. While working with them, we also created Planting the Seed, Vachiam Echa, which was the first ethnographic website built with UMA aesthetics and language as the default. That work then rolled into Lukta Chuktiwa. Lukta Chuktiwa means cutting the cord. It was the first ethnographic film to feature a death ceremony 1 year after one of the people dies inside the community, and that film was made possible because the family that I worked with for 17 to 19 years invited me back to record that death ceremony of my main collaborator. After making Lukta Chuktiwa, I went on to create the Wiki for Indigenous Languages. That is the first peer-to-peer website devoted completely to the revitalization of native languages by native people. That research on intellectual property rights, the use of indigenous aesthetics, and of course service learning has led to me becoming the director of the Archive of Healing. The Archive of Healing is the largest database of folkloric and medicinal sayings from around the world, based mostly on plant-based and performative knowledge practices. I use knowledge practices here particularly because I want to put it as a counter to settler science and the ways of knowing inside the contemporary university, particularly in the US. Although I'm the director of the Wiki for Indigenous Languages and the Archive of Healing, I still actually teach quite a bit at the University of California. I teach both undergraduate classes in the Department of World Arts and Cultures and graduate classes in the Culture and Performance graduate program. I sit on committees in anthropology, gender studies, ethnomusicology, and working with graduate students is one of my joys in life. I really deeply enjoy the conversations that we can have when we talk seriously and critically about the work that they're doing around the world. When I work with students, I'm not very much interested in whether they're committed to anthropology as a discipline, or public policy, or geography, or history. I'd like for them to think about academia and scholastic thinking as a toolbox, for them to build the toolbox with what they need to answer the questions that they're interested in pursuing. And I think that's more important than actually being, you might want to say, beholden to a certain degree from a certain discipline. For 3 years now, I've been teaching a community engagement class called Healing, Ritual, and Transformation. And this class enables students to not just learn about healing and wellness from a Western perspective or from textbooks in a classroom, but they're actually working in collaboration with service organizations, healers, midwives, doulas, witches, a wide variety of people across the nation. So these students get firsthand experience on what counts as health, wellness, what do we consider the body, outside of just the university training, but it's a university training that enables us to work inside communities and in service to them. Recently, I received a California Community Foundation grant, and this money will enable me for the next 1 to 3 years to support Tongva Indigenous community revitalization. So working under the Archive of Healing, we'll be able to have workshops on basketry, Tongva Indigenous language usage, tia or canoe building. We'll also be able to do a lot of work at the Tongva Springs in West Los Angeles. And this money will also enable me to have classes that really focus on service learning so that students are learning about community wellness, not just from textbooks or from a professor in a classroom, but actually in the community, working with organizations. I think that one of the things that has changed about how I've come to know my research is that I've recognized that I've been in what I call the borderlands of science, what counts as truth. That's why I teach classes on aliens, psychics, and ghosts, and I've been interviewing psychics and mediums for about 12 years. I'm trying to get at what counts as knowledge for different people in different communities. It's why I have a couple degrees in religious studies. It's why I pursued my PhD in the history of consciousness at UC Santa Cruz. I'm really trying to devote myself to understanding how truth is made differently by different people.